ज्ञानिनो यहं न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च भूमिर्नस्तेजो न वायु चिदानंदरूपः शिवोऽहम्। मैं न तो मन हूँ, न बुद्धि, न अहंकार, न ही चित्त हूँ। मैं न तो कान हूँ, न जीव, न नासिका, न ही नेत्र हूँ। मैं तो शुद्ध चेतना हूँ, अनंत शिव हूँ। Hi my friends all over the world. I started with this sloka intentionally because today's topic is the mystery of I. मैं कौन हूँ? मेरा रहस्य क्या है? I know this is not the time to talk this kind of topic, but nevertheless, to be very, very frank, that I'm haunted by a few questions which I need discussion, clarification, and sharing with you all. This is the question, very old, very ancient, living today, and will live throughout the human civilization. It has got various faces, I must say, but the questions that are haunting me is that, well, I'm the result. I'm not the cause of myself. I didn't create myself. When I didn't create myself, when I'm not the cause of myself, when I'm the result, then why should I carry the burden of others? There could be different kinds of burden, but they are after all burden. Some physical handicaps there, physically handicapped. Sometimes people are mentally handicapped, deranged. Sometimes they have to carry the burden of the family pressures and so on and so forth, when they are not actually responsible for all this. Now the question is, why should I carry those responsibilities? It has got deeper aspects as well. Sometimes you can ask the same thing in order to understand more deeply. The questions may be this: मैं कौन हूँ? मेरा रहस्य क्या है? मैं मेरे लिए कितना जिम्मेदार हूँ? और क्यों मैं इतना जिम्मेदारी ले रहा हूँ? कितना तक मैं मुझे लेना चाहिए? एंड इसके लिए हमें इतना जिम्मेदार ठहराना क्यों? मैं असलियत में कौन हूं? This is a very, very grave question. Very serious question. And you know, this question has started in the Vedas. You can find in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, in the Bhagavad Gita. They've not only discussed the question, they've answered it. It's up to you whether you are going to take that answer or not. And then in contemporary Indian spirituality, after Shankaracharya, you can find this in the teachings of Ramana Maharshi, and then Jiddu Krishnamurti, and recently in Sadhguru. All have talked about it. This is such a vital question. Actually, our existence, psychological existence, our actual psychological existence depend on this question. So we need to understand it as far as possible. The value, the depth of this question. One of the present day spiritual leader has said very, very nicely that we have received from the nature a very valuable, intensely valuable, a machine for which the nature has taken millions of years to create, which is the human body, the mind. But we do not know, and we didn't read the user manual. And we use it in a very careless manner. The word user manual is a very important, very fine, very fantastic word for me. And what is the user manual? This needs to be understood carefully. If you ask me whether you have read this user manual, I would say that let us read together. And in this moment, in regard to I, the mystery of I, can you go further? Can you go deeper? This I has two parts. मैं, इसका दो पहलू है. This I has got two parts. I as mind, the part of I as mind, thought. And the other part is I as consciousness, as Chetana. Now I want to refer to a fantastic symbolism used in Mundaka Upanishad. There it has been said, there is a sloka. It has said, Dva Shuparna Shajuja Shakhaya Shamanang Brikshang Parishashajate Tayuranya Pippalang Shwaduvatti Anyatu Anasnan Abhichakashiti. The main point is, there are two birds in the same tree. One bird is very busy with taking sweet fruits, and the other bird is looking at this bird, activities of the bird, and nothing else, doing nothing. And finally, the two birds are coming together, becoming one. This is about the human body. We have got two birds. We are very much aware of the first bird, the bird as the mind, I as the mind, but we are not aware about I as the consciousness, as the Chaitanya, as the Chetana. And here lies the importance of this question. Why we couldn't understand, why we couldn't proceed, why we couldn't go deeper into this I. Because this I as the mind is made us so busy. We are so busy with this I. We are so much concerned with this I and the problems of the I that we have no time to go deeper. Interestingly, I will give you one example. Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna, the whole Bhagavad Gita is a teaching to go forward from the part of mind to the part of the soul, from the part of the mind to the part of consciousness. This is a journey from impure I to the pure I. From Kachami, as Sri Ramakrishna Deva said, from Kachami to the Pakami. From Ashuddha Man to Shuddha Man. This is a journey. But as I am talking about Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna has said Arjuna and tried throughout the whole Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna has tried to lift Arjuna from the level of I to the level of consciousness. And first of all, why he did that? Because he said, Prajahati yada kaman sharvan parth manogatan atmani atmana tushta sthit pragya stadochvate. If you can leave all desires of the mind, then you can only attain the state of intelligence. Now, what is the state of intelligence? What is the state of Atma? What is the state of soul? There is a fantastic sloka. He has said, Sri Krishna has said, the question is, why Arjuna? will try to leave his everything of the mind. And in giving the answer, he said, to show the nature of the soul, he said, "Na jayati mriyati va kadachit, na ayang bhutva abhabita na bhuva, ajo nitya shashyato ayang purano, na hanyate hanyamane sharire." Arjun, you have got something which is eternal. You have got something which is permanent. You have got something which is primeval. Your body can be slain, but that cannot be slain. Your body can be finished, but that cannot be finished. It is eternal. Ajo nitya shashatoyam purano nahannate hannamane sharire. If your sharir, if your body becomes finished, dead, even then that exists. That is the nature of the self. That is the nature of the consciousness. That is the nature of I as consciousness. I as Chaitanya. The nature of this I is that it is always knower. It is always subject. You cannot know that. You can infer that. You can try to understand that, but you cannot know that, because knower cannot be known. Subject cannot be objectified in this case. So it remains subject all the time. You can emerge into it. You can be one with it, but you cannot define it. You cannot make it as an object. You can talk about it, but you cannot make an object. Talking of something is something different from objectifying it, showing it, demonstrating it. You cannot. But the I as mind can be shown. Thought can be shown in activities, in symptoms as well. Some people are in despair, in a suicidal mood. You can show it. It can be shown to the doctor, physician, psychologist. But the state of I as consciousness cannot be seen, cannot be described. Now, what is the necessity of talking about it? Remember, this question is so vital. As I said in the beginning, it has started with the history of human civilization. It will live. It has been living for all these years, thousands of years. And it will live up to the last day of human civilization. Ramana Maharshi dealt this single question, who am I, throughout his teachings. And his teachings is a teaching derived from this question alone. He talked about only this single question, who am I? Now, what is the value of such a question? As one spiritual leader said already, it is the user manual. On this question depends the whole psychological existence of man. So long we do not understand it, we'll keep asking this question repeatedly, and at the same time cannot change our lifestyle, cannot change our attitude towards life. It's such a vital question. These questions are haunting me for days together. Now at this moment, what is important to me, what I actually came after this discussion is that at least we need to understand that I as the mind is not enough. I mean, I am not the mind. This mind is mine. I mean, I am not the mind. You are not the mind. This mind is yours. I am more than the mind. I will request each and everybody to stand there just to understand, because it can be understood very easily that it is my mind, but I am not the mind. I am more than the mind. I will request my listeners, my friends, to stay there to the more part where I said I am more than the mind. If we can stay there for quite some time, mentally and physically, meditating, becoming sensitive that I am more than the mind, then there would be a situation when mental periphery will further grow, and the day will surely come that we will be more enriched, enlightened. After all, I am speaking the theory. I know my limitations. But as I read and chant the words of Shankaracharya, as I started with the sloka, I want to ask from the same Nirvana Shatakam. You know that. It's interesting. It's illuminating. When you read it, he has eliminated from the consciousness, I mean, I as consciousness, I as Chaitanya, I as consciousness and bliss, I as Shiva, I as Brahman, from I as not Brahman, I as mind, thought, and all sorts of things. I love to chant it, and I will request you to do the same. Let me chant the last sloka, where he said the whole matter in a positive manner. In other 5 slokas, he told the whole thing in a negative manner. And now he's telling the whole story in a positive manner. As he said, Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutyācha sarvatra sarvendriyanam nachaya sangatam naiva muktir nameya Shidananda rupa shivoyaham shivoyaham. As he said, I am without any variation and without any form. I am present everywhere as the underlying substratum of everything. मैं निर्विकल्प हूँ, निराकार हूँ, मैं चैतन्य के रूप में सब जगह व्याप्त हूँ, सभी इंद्रियों में हूँ, मैं तो शुद्ध चैतन्य हूँ. I am ever pure blissful consciousness. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. मैं तो शुद्ध चैतन्य हूँ, अनादि हूँ, अनंत हूँ, मैं शिव हूँ. Thank you very much, my friends, for listening it. Hare Krishna.